The queen ordered the human to kneel before the throne, and Captain Jonah Vale obeyed so calmly that every noble smiled, because they mistook obedience for weakness. Queen Sarith of the Aurelian Hives had accepted Jonah as a treaty guardian, a human assigned to protect the royal family after Earth ended a border war by refusing to die on schedule. The court hated his armor and watchful silence, so she brought him before the court and tested him. She ordered him to kneel. He knelt. She ordered him to fetch the silver knife. He fetched it. She pressed the knife to her palm until green blood shone. "If I command you to cut, will you cut?" Jonah looked at the blade, then at the queen. "If cutting saves your life, yes, Majesty. If cutting only proves you own my hands, no." The throne room went silent. Sarith smiled like frozen glass. "You were assigned to obey me." Human Jonah lowered his eyes. "I was assigned to protect you, Majesty. Those are not always the same order." Guards hissed, but the queen raised one claw, curious despite her anger. The human would kneel, carry, wait, bleed, but no crown opened the locked door inside him. Then Princess Liora entered barefoot. Crying blood from one eye, the queen forgot the test. Liora was 12 by Aurelian measure, small, silver-crowned, and born with hive song. A gift that touched minds, that morning tutors had forced her into the thoughts of a condemned rebel. Broken by interrogation, filled with terror, rage, and memories of children lost in war, Liora had seen everything, felt everything, and now carried a stranger's nightmare inside her skull. The second test came in tears, not orders. She looked at Jonah and whispered, "Make it stop." Royal law had one answer for a corrupted mind gift: isolation, sedation, removal from succession, maybe worse. Mercy was dangerous in dynasties. Jonah rose without permission, and 20 rifles aimed at him. The queen snapped, "Kneel, human!" Jonah kept walking toward the child, not running, not attacking, simply ignoring a queen for the first time. That was when obedience broke, and something stronger stepped forward. Sarith shouted, "Stop!" Jonah stopped one pace from Liora, because this order came from a mother's panic, not a ruler's pride. He turned slightly. "Majesty, your daughter is drowning. I can stand on shore and salute, or I can go in. Choose quickly." Sarith had tested whether he would obey, and the universe had answered with a child who needed him not to. Liora reached for him. Jonah knelt before the trembling princess and made himself smaller. He removed his sidearm, pushed it away, removed his knife, pushed it away, then unclipped every hard plate from his gauntlets until his hands looked bare and harmless. The court did not understand the ritual, but Liora did. He was showing her that strength could set weapons down and still remain strength. "I am Jonah," he said softly. "You are in the throne room. The floor is cold. Your mother is behind you. Breathe with me." The princess screamed without sound, and every light shattered. Hundreds of minds brushed her panic and recoiled. Guards fell. Nobles clutched their skulls. Queen Sarith tasted the rebels' grief for one terrible second and nearly collapsed. But Jonah stayed in front of Liora, blood running from his nose. Humans had no hive song, no mind armor. Only the brutal earthborn skill of staying with someone through pain that could not be fixed quickly. Then Jonah began to hum. It was rough, low, steady. A human melody from some mud-soaked battlefield. The psychic storm bent around it. Liora sobbed. "Make him go away," Jonah understood. The rebel's terror was still echoing inside her. He looked at the queen. "Who is he?" Sarith whispered. "Traitor? Murderer? Insurgent?" Jonah's eyes hardened. "Is he alive?" The queen did not answer. Jonah lifted Liora and walked toward the prison wing. Guards blocked the archway. Jonah did not threaten them. He only said, "If you make me step over you while carrying a crying child, history will remember your names poorly." One by one, they moved. Sarith followed, furious, afraid, ashamed. They found the rebel chained in a white room. Wounds sealed badly, eyes empty from too much pain. Liora screamed when she saw him because his mind recognized her and begged forgiveness. Jonah set the princess behind him and asked the man's name. No one knew. The prison clerk called him Subject 9. Jonah turned on him with quiet disgust. What is his name? The man whispered. Arvin. Jonah crouched before him. Arvin, your fear is trapped in the princess, and it is hurting her. I need you to breathe. The rebel laughed brokenly. She is their heir. Let her feel it. Jonah nodded. She has, and she is 12. Arvin looked past him at Liora, at the child shaking beneath adult cruelty. And something living survived inside him. He began to breathe with Jonah's rhythm. Not for the queen, not for the empire, but for the child who had accidentally carried his dead. The nightmare loosened. Liora crawled forward and placed one trembling hand near Arvin's chained fingers. I am sorry, she whispered. Arvin wept, and the hive song shifted from terror to mourning. Not clean, not easy, not forgiven, but shared. Jonah stayed between them like a wall that had learned gentleness, letting grief pass without letting it drown anyone. At sunset, Jonah stood again before the blood throne, bruised by a war fought inside other people. Sereth descended the steps. You disobeyed me, yes, Majesty? You ignored my command before my court. Yes, Majesty, you showed mercy to my enemy. Jonah looked up. No, Majesty, I showed mercy to your daughter. Arvin was the door I had to open. She faced the nobles. Today I tested human obedience and found it insufficient for evil. My daughter tested his mercy and found it stronger than fear from this day. Captain Vale guards the royal house by oath, not ownership. And any command he refuses will be examined before it is enforced. Hours later, Sereth found Jonah outside Liora's nursery, sitting against the wall, refusing praise, simply keeping watch. You are a difficult servant, Captain. Jonah closed his eyes. Not a servant, Majesty, no, Sereth said, looking at her sleeping child. Not anymore. And when enemies later asked why the Aurelian throne trusted one human above fleets, Queen Sereth gave the only answer that mattered. Because he knew when to kneel, and he knew when to stand.